Hi everyone, it's Daniela and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you today a tutorial on how I make my bead dangle chunky charms, whichever you want to call it, and I will be using beads and bead caps from BeeBeeCraft. Link will be below. I got these beautiful beads. They are glass pearl beads and they are just so beautiful. I got Halloween and a silver purple one, and then I have another bag that is Christmas, and that'll be Christmas time. Right now we're doing this. I also received this whole box of end caps for the beads, and as you can see, I used all of these. Most. I've used a lot because I made a couple of bead dangles. This one we're going to make together, but I made these few using the beads that I received. There it is, looking for the end. So this one, I used the green beads, and then I added black beads and these green skull beads, and made a snazzy Halloween dangle here. This guy. It's hard to lay it flat. It's so much better when it's hanging, but so that you can see. And I'm going to zoom in also because we will definitely need to be zoomed in during the tutorial. Maybe you can see it a little bit better there. I'll zoom in more and then zoom back out and finish talking about bead dangles in general. So I have clasp, I have one of these cameos, and so I did this one, and then this one here I used the purple beads from this and the silver beads from the other bag, and I made this bead dangle, which is super cute. The purple is so pretty. Oh my heck. As you can see, there's like one purple. We're going to make one with the orange, but I also use that brown and the green in this. There's hardly any left. So I put a spider web pendant on the bottom. These are all purple and clear, and I threw some spider and web charms on it as well. So I got these two, used a lot of beads. So now we are going to make the rest of this dangle here. I already made most of the dangles. I saved 4 for us to make together, and I like to make my dangles 9.5 inches long to the bottom of the whatever's at the bottom, and this is a crystal that had an end, so I added a little metal flat pumpkin. And so I just measure out after I add the clasp and the base, then I measure out how much chain to make that. Then I take all of my dangles and I lay them out so I can see, and I've already done that here, but this is the larger dangle that we'll be making, and this is the smaller one that we'll be making. I like to make, and there's a third size always. I like to make 4 just one bead, couple end beads, and an end cap. 4 of those sets, 4 sets. 4 sets of the small dangle and 4 sets of the large dangle, which equals 24 dangles. And then here I also made, like I did with those spiders, I made some pumpkin charm like things to just sporadically put on the chain. So let's move these guys out of the way for the moment, because we're going to be playing with the ones we have to make. So, bead dangles. This is a dangle. Oh, I should start by saying, back up, I am not a professional jeweler, beadsmith, metalsmith, any of this. I am a hobbyist, and this is how I figured out how to make a bead dangle. And if I say the wrong tools, or if things aren't said the same way, I'd love to hear how I should say it, or just understand this is a hobby and I enjoy it. It's fun. So we're going to make two of these. There's the BeeBeeCraft glass pearl, and then a couple other beads of mine. This one is a bicone bead. This I know. It's like two cones that come together in the middle and taper thinner at the bottom. And then, oh, sorry, look, confusing myself. And then we'll also be making, why? Oh, there they are. Okay. These smaller ones, it's the same thing, just a smaller bicone. And the BeeBeeCraft's bead and end cap for the bead. So we're going to make these four. Now to make them, we need, first of all, we need tools. Let's start there. So tools. Pliers are helpful to get these little beads out of here. Wire cutters. When you make the dangles, sometimes you break a bead, something happens, so then you have to cut your wire and get your beads out. These are forms of pliers. I call them straight and round tip, but I think they're round chain pliers, chain link, round chain something. These are round tip pliers. And then this is something called a looper, and you put your pin in here and it'll make a loop like this so that you can attach it to your chain. Trying to make sure if I can show you that loop. Yep, see, it makes that for you. I can make a loop front by hand, but if it can be done a little easier, that's terrific. So I use 2-inch head pins. I'll grab a couple of them to show you. And I stack all of my beads onto those pins. So let's get out some beads here. I could just pour it all out because they're all here. So we're going to be making a peach and a brown. We know that. And we know the brown we put with the bigger bicone bead, and the pink, orange. Am I saying peach? I don't know what I'm saying. Orange. And we're going to make 2 of each so that you can see what I do. So we know we've got that. We want to put our end caps with the pearls. End cap, end cap. And then to put in the middle, I like to put these jeweled spacer beads. If you look from this one on the side, you could see the diamonds in here. Of course, they're not real diamonds, but so I put one of these in the middle. I'm using the diamond one with the larger beads, and these are black. Whoop, well, there you go, black. Oh, and I'm using a bead cloth. That's why they're not rolling everywhere. I don't know about you, but it does not matter how level a surface is. These beads just roll off. They just do. Gravity, I don't know. And then I have all of these little ones to go on the ends so that it looks nice. So the pink, orange one goes here and here, and the black ones go here and here, and then here are the clear ones. I do this every time I make a dangle, so I have everybody together, everybody's ready, and we can just get it going. So now I'm going to take a head pin, find the straightest one I can. You can just straighten them by pulling them through your pliers or whatever. But today I'm looking for one, and we will start with the clear beads first, or whatever is at the bottom. So here I have clear, I have an end cap, I have a glass pearl bead, pop it right into that cap. Then the spacer. I'm also so nervous doing this. I don't know why. Never done a bead tutorial. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do for you, and it's only for you I do this, is I'm going to show you how to wire wrap the loop at the end. I don't normally do this. So this is too much pin here. I mean, look, if I was to measure it, which I will, it's 3/4 of an inch long. We don't need that much. We need about half. I'm going to cut just a little bit off because this is a tutorial. I'm turning it upside down because I don't want it to go flying. And now what you would do is take your round nosed pliers, and you would, see, this loop is going to be way too high. I can't do it that much. Okay, excuse me a second. Let me cut off the proper amount. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Okay. Take your round nose pliers. Right now you've got this. Trying to find a good spot. You see, just got stuff on a stick and a big long piece of metal at the end. Now you take these pliers and you go down far, leaving a little space, and you bend it. So now you have something that looks like that. Now you take your pliers and go to the tip, the end, and then you roll them. I don't want to go too far in. Then you roll it around. Everything's fine. Just gotta, okay, stop it. And then now you've got, I don't know if you were able to see what I'm saying. I'm so nervous. Now you've got half of a hook, a loop. Now we take these pliers and we go to that loop, well, the part that came down. Stop moving. I said stop moving. And you take that and you use your pliers and you keep turning it and moving it until you get a full loop. I'm also a little kooky in position. Here we go. Stop it. So, can you see the loop? Looks like you can. Loop on the top. It's not my best loop. I would mess with it some more, but instead of going through that, let's do the looper. And then you'll understand why I use the looper. There it is. So it wouldn't come off. Okay, now we're just going to put everybody back on a new pin and do it again. So get a pin for a straight one because we're doing a tutorial here. And we take the clear one just like we did a minute ago, and the end cap and the pearl and the spacer and the bicone and the little end bead. Okay, here's the looper. What you do with this, you stick the needle part of the pin in there, in here, and out the hole, right? And get it nice and tight in there. See, nobody's moving here. Good and tight. I usually do it over a garbage can, but now you squeeze and ta-da! You have a loop. Now, isn't that a lot easier? Just not sure if you're seeing. Now we have a loop. And I like to then just make sure we're all the way tight by giving it a little squish at the bottom, tightening it up, and voila, we have a bead dangle. Let's try it again. We'll use one of the other ones. So, like I said, I know that I'm not certain about plier names and all of that, but what I do know is as a hobbyist, I have spent a lot of time making bead dangles, and I didn't even really look at videos. I've been making and selling them for years. Like, I don't know, obviously I saw it somewhere and I wanted to try it, but I just can't exactly remember where because it was a long time ago, and over the years I just kept doing what I do and figured what the heck. And it's very relaxing and it's really fun to, like, I mean, it's like real jewelry, like looks like diamonds and pearls and pretty things, and it's awesome. There's my loop. Tighten it up. And there we go. Perfect. You go over there. Next up, we will make the last two. And then from there, we will add a couple to the chain. And then I will finish it up. But I just want to show you how to do that because, I don't know, I'm just trying to show you how this whole system works, I guess. So the longest part of making dangles for me is picking out the color combination, which will the pearl or the, I usually always do a clear bicone or round with a pearl. And what color spacer do I want? what color is on the ends. And I always used only one bead cap. I found one and that was it. And then I tried looking at others, but then they, I don't know, it would be like it wouldn't fit right or whatever. So when I got this whole box from BeeBeeCraft, I was like, oh my gosh, I can go on for days with these end caps. And that's why I've used so many of them. But I used 24 of them on each of these 3 dangles. It's almost 75, 72. And that is a lot of bead dangles. So I just take my individual bead dangles and then I add them to a chain, and that is what I consider a chunky charm. But I've seen some chunky charms lately. Midge is the chunky charm queen. It is amazing what she does. But I suppose, you know, just different for what you like and that kind of thing, or know what you like, what you know, what you make, what you do. Hers are amazing. I will not take anything away from that. They are outstanding. Fixing my loop. Good. So now we have that. We do not need these. I will put these back in here. I hope that this tutorial is giving you a good look. I was really worried about that because I know it's a very, I moved the camera closer and everything, trying to make this the best video I can for you. So always know if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. And if there are ways I can improve, tell me that too, please. And I aim to please. So now I have my chain. Like I told you, I measure 9.5 inches from the end of my whatever charm is at the bottom and my lobster claw clasp. I also have key rings and big lobster claw clasps. And when I sell them, I say I'll change it to whichever you want. You know, I can change it. So I know that I start off with the little beads, like I told you, these guys here. These little ones. Here we go. 4 for the bottom, 4 for the top. So I'm going to show you these 4 and then I'll finish and we'll come back. So now we have to count our links. I counted it all out, and the small ones will be 3 links apart, and then after that the rest of the ones that have 2 beads, they will all be 4 links apart. That's the usual configuration. So here is my first loop. You can feel that that's where the opening is. Take 2 pliers, these straight ones and these round ones. I'm trying to get everybody together. Take them like that. And then I get my business together. I get moved. Hold on. I'm telling you, I'm like all thumbs. I'm like nervous. I'm not normally like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Like I was saying. So you take your pliers and you twist to open. You do not pull, you twist. You remove this chain. You add 1 of your dangles. You replace the chain. And you add the other dangle. And then you close it up by taking this guy, hold it tight, and twisting them back together. And I like to give it a squish to make sure they're together. and that's 1. Then we count 1, 2, 3, and feel. That's not where it's open, so you have to spin it to the other side, because you can feel the it's not smooth where the opening is. We open, remove. By removing that, then you end up with a dangle on both sides of the chain. If you didn't, you'd have them all on one side. So that's the way that I figured out how to make them on this each side of the chain and not all hanging on one side. I like to squish it to bring it a little closer. Squish it. Oh, look what I did. See, I got to talking so much I forgot to put the other dangle on. Oh my heck. Open. Doesn't matter. I have the dangle, I have the chain, and now I have another dangle. No, I don't. There we go. And this too. That and squish. Like to feel it. There you go. That is the beginning of the dangle. Then we just keep adding these all the way up and it'll be done. So I'm going to, I don't know if I should stop it or fast forward. I'm going to stop and finish and then I'll come back. Okay, it's all done. This bead dangle, I just went up and added more beads, more dangles to the chain, and then I actually did add the little pumpkin heads. I made them into charms like I told you, and that's it. So this is one, this one also with the Halloween beads from BeeBeeCraft like I showed you, and the bead caps, and the purple one with spider web. The green glass pearl beads from BeeBeeCrafts. The skull beads are from Michael's, I think. Yeah. And now I'm just going to sit here and obsess over fixing every dangle. Sorry. So I hope that this was enjoyable and maybe taught you something. And beading is super fun, and it's not an expensive hobby. You have an initial investment of a couple of tools, and the first tools I bought were it was like jeweler's tools, or I don't remember, but they were only in a box this big, and they were little, and you know, then you just get better, and then you pick out your own tools and your own beads. Beads are not too expensive. BeeBeeCrafts has excellent prices on their beads, so I hope you do it, and if you do, tell me so I can come see. And these, all 3 of these are in my Etsy shop now, and in the description box is the link to BeeBeeCrafts, the link to the beads, and my information, Etsy shop link, and everything is there too. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.